Good morning, dear professors. And we are entering into the ATAL FDP. Hope for the past 2 days you would have had a joyful session and enjoyed all the systems, which was a great learning. And on this third day, I just want to notify one thing that uh, due to unavoidable situations and Kritika Selvaraj ma'am, HR Assistant Manager Precall, she was affected by COVID. Sorry for that. And yesterday night only, around after 12 only, I got the information. There was a small change in the schedule. Uh, Today's joyful learning topic, it is postponed to tomorrow as a first session. And the second session, which is on day today, impact of interpersonal skills in collaborative learning, we are going to have it as a first session today. So the session 2 on today will be postponed to session 1. And today's session 1 is postponed to tomorrow. And tomorrow morning, we have planned for interactive strategies for collaborative learning. That is getting shifted to session 2. So right now, we are going to enter into the topic of impact of interpersonal skills in collaborative learning, session 1, followed by session 2, interactive strategies for collaborative learning. And the third session, construction of shared knowledge in collaborative problem solving. So this is the day plan for all of your information. And for this session, I extend my hearty welcome to Dr.S.Ravi Shankar sir. Yesterday, he started the session. First session, he was with us. And now also, he is entering to the day 3 with the first session on interpersonal skills, where he was very much interested, and his own area is interpersonal skills. And he is very good, and he is going to joyfully present for all of us about the impact of interpersonal skills in collaborative learning. And I extend my hearty welcome to Professor Ravi, and I extend my hearty welcome to all the participants present over here. So let us all move on to the session. The platform is now for Ravi sir to take over. Please, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Uh,
And sir, I will take a minute. Usually, we will have a together photo mode at the last. And today, as a change, I just want to have that together photo mode in the initial stage. So, participants, kindly switch on your video for a minute, please. Let us have a together photo session, including the resource person, Ravi sir also. I request you to join for photo session. Please switch on the video, all of you.
yes, ma'am. Madam, am I visible?
No, sir, not visible.
Ma'am, I have switched on my mobile. Yeah, my camera mode.
Okay.
I think let me switch it off and then I'll come back.
Okay. Participants, please switch on the
Can you
video,
please check
please.
it? Ma'am, can you please check it now? Is it okay, ma'am?
Ma'am, my camera is not working properly.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, is it
Sir,
okay
there is
now?
a problem in the settings, it seems. I will leave and get you back.
Yeah.
Ravi Shankar sir, you are visible, and otherwise video on your visible. Thank you. Once again, please focus on your camera. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, madam. Happy morning to all the faculty community of Kumarasamy College of Engineering and dear participants. So happy to see you again in my second session on the impact of interpersonal skills on collaborative learning. So, dear friends, today I'm going to use, the story-based lecturing pedagogy. So today I'm going to use the story-based lecturing pedagogy as a tool for this session, which I normally use in my classroom session. And I am sure that this pedagogy will help you a lot in classroom discussions. So I hope you might have used this indeed. And let me add a few pepper and salt, okay, to meet out at least 0.0001 percentage of your expectations, please. So when I was in Wipro, we used to consider three different factors, okay, towards evaluating the employees, okay, at the time of performance appraisal period. So the objectives are set accordingly. Just a minute, let me switch on my PowerPoint presentation also. 1 minute. So ma'am, that's my screen is visible to all of you.
No, sir.
No, sir,
Just a
not
minute.
yet, sir.
Screen is visible, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
The
Is it okay,
PowerPoint
ma'am?
is not visible. Okay, fine,
Now
sir,
it's
fine.
visible,
It is
guys.
visible.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Ma'am, when I was in Wipro, actually we used to consider three different factors towards evaluating the employees. That too at the time of performance appraisal. The objectives are set accordingly. Okay, the performance appraisal is purely based on three different types of factors because finally they used to consider three different things in mind. One thing is need improvement, the other one is meet expectations, and the third one is exceed expectations. Okay, based on the objectives which we set earlier at the time of joining. So today, let me try to meet out the expectations of all the experts in this forum. Let me try to meet out your expectations, my dear faculty colleagues. So at last, because each and every one of this forum should be, you will get satisfied. So let me begin with a story because as I told you at the beginning, because today's session is completely filled with story based lecturing. Lot of stories because all these stories I have collected only with the help of YouTube because I've learned a lot of stories through the this mode only. So let me start with the story. So, at last, each and every member of this forum should get satisfied out of my session. So the first one is your satisfaction is much required for each and everybody, because satisfaction, because being a member of this faculty community, your job is to make others satisfied. The students, the parents, your trust members, your office bearers, your management, etc., etc. You should make others satisfied, because that is one of the important, because interpersonal skills which is mandatory in collaborative learning, because that is mandatory. So we people are always givers. I'm proudly say that we people are always givers, which means the faculty community, we are always givers. We are always givers, and never, because we are not takers. We won't take anything instead. So my quote for the day is, never be takers, be givers. That is what we are doing daily. We are always givers. We are not taking anything. One thing, my dear friends, takers can eat well. Takers can always eat well. But givers, we people, we can sleep well. Am I right, my dear friends? Takers can always eat well. Givers, we people, can sleep well. So let me start a story. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, once upon a time, a florist, a florist came to a barber for haircut and shave. Once upon a time, a florist came to a barber for haircut and shave. Soon after the completion, okay, the job, the barber said to the florist, "Sir, as a gratitude towards God, I never charge anything for the first customer." Soon after completing his job, the barber said to the, the florist, the customer, okay, so as a gratitude towards God, I never charge anything for the first customer. It is totally at free of cost. The florist was very, very happy on that day. So happy. Next day, when the barber came to the shop, he found 10 bouquets of flowers with a chit, a small chit, inside the bouquet, stating that, as a reciprocation of love and care shown by you, I am giving this gift to you, said by the florist. As a reciprocation of love and care which you shown yesterday to you, to me, okay, I am giving this back to you, my dear, barber, said by the florist in the chit. Barber was so happy. Similarly, when the next day falls on, a bakery wala came to the barber, okay, the shop, and he came for haircut. This continues. For the first customer, he never charged anything. Next day, the bakery wala, he came out with a buckets of breads as a reciprocation of love and care. So what about ourselves, my dear friends? Think about this. If a person never charge anything for the first customer, what we used to do, my dear friends, you please think from your end. So the satisfaction, it is mandatory, because we people are highly satisfied with the job which we are doing daily. So we are always givers. We never take anything. So we people are sleeping well, my dear friends. So the interpersonal skills. Every success has a great failure, my dear friends. Every success has a great failure. So what is that? Let me tell you, every success has a great failure, because when Henry Ford, in his first invention, the new invention, he forgot to put the reverse gear in his car. You know about Thomas Alva Edison. At the age of 67, his total factory was born. Thomas replied, I thank God for burning up all my mistakes in this disaster. Later on, after the age of 67, he invented phonograph, like, an old radio kind of a thing, with, I think, with big mic and all. He invented this phonograph at the age of 67. Definitely, my dear friends, please do what you are doing daily. We people are givers. One fine day may turn up, and that definitely will change our entire lifestyle. Definitely one fine day will look, because that makes everybody to look at the faculty community. Definitely, because now the scenario is totally different. But one fine day, because please do what you are doing with much interest daily, my dear friends. Definitely one fine day God will give us, people will turn and look back of this faculty community. So the interpersonal skills. What is this interpersonal skills, my dear friends? It is one of the special, unique talent which we use to interact and collaborate with everybody. Uniqueness, my dear friends. A special talent, my dear friends. A special talent which we use to interact with the people and collaborate with the people. Each and every person has a unique talent, a special unique talent. Normally, we use that talent to interact with others and get the things through others, everybody. As a manager, we interact with others and get the things through others only with the help of our uniqueness. So, all these special talents are born in nature. All these special talents are born in nature, or through experience we learn it, or through experience we learn it. I'm very sure that a lot of interpersonal skills are born naturally, because we learn through experience. But sometimes a lot of interpersonal skills are born through naturally, maybe through genetic, because I have got a lot of interpersonal skills which I've got from my parents. Because I'm sure that interpersonal skills are born naturally, because experience will also support you a lot, but at the same time, your genetic skills. For example, I'll tell you a story, my dear friends. Let me begin with that, and go with the next story. Okay, so a baby boy, at the age, maybe in between 3 to 5 years. Please look at this carefully, my dear friends. A baby boy at the age, maybe 3 to 5 years. He approached to his mother and said, Mom, I love you very much. Mom, I love you very much, at the age in between 3 to 5 years. What could be the reply from mother, my dear participants? Can I get those response in the chat box, please? What could be the reply, my dear participants? Okay, so definitely at the age in between 3 to 5 years, if a baby boy approached his mother and said, Mom, I love you, definitely his mother reply, "Me too, Kuti. I love you very much, Kuti, my dear Kuti. Me too, Kuti," right? So at the age in between 5 to 10 years, definitely for each, because till the end, 1 minute, 1 minute. So till the end of her life, whenever you approach your mother, she'll respond, "Me too, Kuti. I love you very much." So look at this case, my dear friends. In between 5 to 10 years, okay. So if that boy approached his mother, and said, "I love you, mother. I love you very much," her mother will respond, "Me too, Kitty," and she will ask you a question. Have you got your answer booklets? She knows very well about you, because we people are highly selfish, right? In between 5 to 10 years, if you approach your mother, "Mom, I love you," she knows about you. She knows about the pace of you, my dear friends. She'll raise a question. Have you got your answer booklets? Definitely. So at the age in between 10 to 15 years, if you approach your mother and said, "I love you, mother," she'll raise a question. "Me too, Kuti." Yes. She'll raise a question. "Do you want a bicycle? My dear boy, do you want a bicycle?" Yes. We people are highly selfish. So this continues in between 15 to 20 years. She'll raise this question. "Do you want a motorcycle?" Yes. She knows about us very well, because mom, she has that much interpersonal skills. She knows about each and every movement of her kid like anything. So in between 20 to 25 years, if a boy approach his mother and said, "I love you, mother," definitely she'll raise a question. In between 20 to 25 years of her kid, she'll raise a question. Who is that girl? She knows about you very much. Who is that girl? My dear boy, who is that girl? In between 25 to 40 years, look at this, my dear friend. In between 25 to 40 years, if you approach your mother and say, "I love you, mother," that after marriage, yes, "I love you, mother," she knows the pace of you, and she'll raise a question. "Already I have told you that that girl is not suitable for you, my dear Quitty. Already I have told you that the girl is not suitable. That's what I told you at the beginning itself." Yes, very good. So at last, 45 to 50 years, at the age of in between 45 to 50, if you approach your mother and said, "I love you, mother," she reply, "Me too, Kuti." She'll respond, she'll raise a question. "In which document I have to sign, my dear son?" Because we people are selfish. "In which document I have to sign?" I'll sign. I'll put my signature in whatever the documents you want, wherever you want. I'll sign it, because she has that much interpersonal skills. She sacrifices everything for her kid. That interpersonal skills cannot be learned through a secondary data. Yes, normally we people used to collect data in business research. We run here and there, my dear friends, for primary data collection, secondary data collection, etc., etc. The interpersonal skill which your mother has cannot be learned through a secondary data that was born by nature. That was born by nature, my dear friends. So the next one is, so you got what is interpersonal skills. So interpersonal skills are behaviors and tactics a person uses to interact with others effectively. As I told you at the beginning, interpersonal skills are a special, unique talent which we use to interact and collaborate. If we do that, if we did that in the company or else in the college or else wherever you are working, there the effective KT happens. Knowledge transfer. If your interpersonal skills are effective, then the knowledge transfer will be an effective and efficient one. So what is collaborative learning? You know about very well about collaborative learning. So collaborative learning, it is nothing but two or more people learn or attempt to learn something together. For this, what really supports your interpersonal skills supports the collaborative learning. How people will join together, will join hands together. Only with the help of the interpersonal skills which you have, that makes the people to join hands together so that they'll come closer. Then only the collaborative learning happens. So interpersonal skills supports your collaborative learning like anything. So let me tell you one more thing here. Your punctuation. So punctuation that indicates, maybe the marks which we people are using for dividing the sentences. Your punctuation, that is your verbal communication, your verbal, non-verbal, whatever it is, your verbal communication, that acts as a sound tool for this interpersonal communication skills. Your punctuation that indicates the marks which is used for dividing a sentence. See, look at this. Today morning I have taken this from the WhatsApp. I think you might have known this one, my dear friends, but let me show that. See, look at this, image. Punctuation. Punctuation is very, very, very powerful. So an English professor wrote the words, a man without her, sorry, a woman without her man is nothing. A woman without her man is nothing. There is no punctuation because there is no commas or center, nothing. There is no nothing because he hasn't divided anything. That sentence, it carries a message, yes, on the chalkboard, and he asked the students to punctuate it accordingly, correctly, yes. Immediately, all of the males in the classroom, the male community in the classroom, they wrote like this: a woman without her man is nothing. A woman, without her man is nothing. So all of the female community in the classroom wrote like this: a woman without her man is nothing. That's it. I hope you got the meaning, my dear friends. A woman without her man is nothing. Fine. Powerful. It is really, really powerful. Your verbal communication in the organization is very, very powerful, my dear friends. The punctuation is very, very powerful, my dear friends. So the key takeaways. So the key takeaways from the interpersonal skills, this helps us to interact with others effectively. That is what I have told you. Interact with others effectively. Some people are born. They got those interpersonal skills through genetic. Some people learn those interpersonal skills through practice. So let me tell you, the interpersonal skills, some of the interpersonal skills in the, in the next upcoming slides. Expressing appreciation, resolving the disputes, and many more interpersonal skills are there. Active listening, Lot of interpersonal skills are there. So, 1 minute. So many jobs, involve the collaboration and interact with different types of peoples. Many jobs also involve the collaboration and interact with the different types of people. Yes, my dear friends, because being a part of this faculty community, because we should always interact with people and we depend on others. We must depend on others because others support is also mandatory. You have to mingle along with your co-workers, your colleagues, your faculty community. You have to go along with your data entry operator. You have to support everybody because their support is also required in one fine day, because for documentation work you are in need of others help. So how this because this interpersonal skills it plays a vital role in bringing all the people together. You know about social skills. I think in interpersonal skills, communication, you might have studied about the social skills. For example, in China, while exchanging the visiting card, one must accept it with both the hands and give a good he must give he must have a good look at the card. In China, while exchanging the visiting card, one must accept it with both the hands. Please look at this, my dear friends. One must accept it with both the hands and have a look at that card with a smiling face. You should not keep it immediately, in your pocket, because that is what we people are doing, right? We pay more attention to our visiting card because we pay more attention towards exchanging our visiting card rather than getting others visiting card, because that's what I am doing. Because I have started changing myself accordingly nowadays. If somebody gives their visiting card, immediately I used to get it and then put it in my pocket immediately. But you should not do that in China. And one more thing, my dear friends, in China, while having a meal, make sure have to leave. You leave some food in the plate. You must leave some food in the plate. So it implies what? It implies that you are full and you cannot have more. If you eat all the ingredients, but what I am doing in the sense, because I look for return on investment myself, because I am telling my case, my dear friends, I look for return on investment. If I spend just $200 for my meal, then what I'll do in the sense, I'll take everything. How much I can, I'll take everything. If I cannot take anything, then I'll ask the supplier to go for the parcel. I'll ask him to parcel it, everything, whatever I have left it. I want anything, because I won't leave anything in food, in my plate, because that's what I have learned from my parents, because they taught me like this. You should not leave any food on the plate, because return on investment, it is also mandatory, because how much investment the farmers they have made on bringing this. But in China, you should not leave any meal on the food. You should leave, because you must. You leave some food in the plate because that implies you are full and you cannot have more. If you eat all the ingredients, if you eat all the meal on the plate, it could mean that you are still hungry and you want more. The supplier will come again. That implies like that. So the intercultural communication, that intercultural communication. Just a minute, my dear friends. So interpersonal skills are much needed for collaborative learning. One minute, my dear friends. Just a minute. So interpersonal skills are much needed for collaborative learning. The first interpersonal skill. I've told you many. The first one, habit. This is the first interpersonal skill much needed for an individual. Habit. There are three different types of habits, my dear friends. Three different types of habits. One thing is good habit. The second one is neutral habit. And the third one is bad habit. One thing is good habit. The second one is neutral habit. The third one is bad habit. 1 minute, my dear friends, 1 minute. Sorry, my dear friends. There are three different types of habits. As I told you, first one is good habit, the second one is neutral habit, the third one is bad habit. Good habit is nothing but just to say thank you. Whenever you approach a fellow, say good morning, good afternoon. A personal invite with a smiley face, good habit. My dear friends, please try to enhance your good habit. The second one is neutral habit, because the neutral habit is nothing but something which was already saved in your autopilot mode. Something which was already saved in your autopilot mode. So never neglect that neutral habit, my dear friends. Try to make use of that. Utilize your neutral habit. The first one is good habit. Enhance your good habit. The second one is neutral habit. The neutral habit, you please utilize that. And the third one is bad habit. Please get rid out of that. Come out of that, the negative habit. Because that takes the peace of your mind. That kills your growth. My dear friends, habits are just, like getting into a soft, cozy bed. It is so difficult to come out. Your bad habit is something like, getting into a soft, cozy bed. It is so difficult to come out. So, three things, my dear friends: good habit, neutral habit, and bad habit. Good habit, say thank you, welcome everybody, that enhance that good habit. Neutral habit, autopilot mode, which was already there in your data, stored in your data, stored in your mind, utilize that. And the third one is bad habit. Please come out of that bad habit. Reject those bad habits. So, dealing with those bad habits. How to deal with those bad habits? You must, my dear friends, you have to deal with those bad habits. Let me tell you a story. There was a father and there are three different three sons. Father and three sons. Father gave a task to three of his sons. Father gave a task to three of his sons. The task was the first son. The task assigned to the first son was go and uproot a sapling out from our garden tomorrow. The first son, because the task assigned to the first son was, my dear son, go and uproot a sapling out from our garden by tomorrow. The second task assigned to the second son is uproot a bush out from our garden by tomorrow. Uproot a bush. And for the third son, the task allotted was uproot a tree from our garden by tomorrow. Next day, father has inquired his sons about the task given. First son replied, easy task, sir. Dad, it was really easy. I did that within 5 minutes of time, few minutes. Uprooting a sapling, it may take a minute time without disturbing the roots. Second son replied, it is quite difficult because bush, he has to uproot a bush. Little bit hard work because the roots go little bit deep into the soil. So that was quite difficult for the second son. And the third son replied that very, very difficult task because lot of efforts I have made on it. I need other support because root goes, very, very deeper into the mud. That's what the third son replied. Finally, father responded like this. The moral is, answer lies with you, my dear friends. Answer lies with you, my dear friends. The father responded like this. If your bad habit goes deeper into your system, it is highly difficult for you to get rid of. It is very, very difficult, my dear son, my dear friends. It is really difficult to get rid of from the bad habit if it goes deeper into our system. So, my dear friends, deal with your bad habits, please. Get out of that bad habit. So, there are certain principles. There are certain principles to deal with the bad habits. How this bad habit comes, because of association. Because where we have associated ourselves, there comes good or bad habit. Where we are associated. How does association come? It comes because of intimacy. Intimacy, you know about it, close bonding. So intimacy, it is like, give and take relationship. Maybe it comes because of sharing your food, sharing your things, sharing your values, sharing your beliefs, etc., etc. Lot of association, it happens only through intimacy. Got it, my dear friends? Because you have to deal, because where you have associated yourself, be very, very careful with whom you have associated. So please be very, very careful, my dear friends. So yes, the next one is, sometimes, we have associated with some good friends. You please enhance that association. because try to enhance your association. So the next one is empathy. So understanding others, people, emotions is a key skill in workplace. The first interpersonal skill is habit. The second interpersonal skill is empathy. Understanding others, others emotions is a skill, key skill in the workplace. How to understand? Because my dear friends, we are responsible for the response which we get from people around us. How to understand? How to understand? Yes, empathy. My dear friends, please try to invest in people by being kind, sensitive, and love, care, and affection. Try to invest in people, my dear friends. Understand other emotions, my dear friends. Put yourself into the shoes of others, my dear friends. Invest in people, my dear friends. You are responsible for everything. Invest in people because understand others' emotions. Because once upon a time, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, a girl got married and want to live with her husband, and she was wanted to live with her husband and in-laws. A girl got married and wanted to live with her husband and in-laws. She felt that her mother-in-law is commanding, demanding, fighting. All INGs are coming over here. She felt her mother-in-law is commanding, demanding, fighting. There is no peace in family. That's what she felt. That's what the girl felt. One day, she went to her friends, her friend's clinic and requested her friend to give a herb to kill her mother-in-law. A herb. She went to her friend's clinic and requested his friend to give a herb to kill her mother-in-law. Her friend realized and the entire scene behind. Her friend realized everything. He went inside the clinic because her friend knows about this, girl very well. He went inside his clinic and came out with a box of herbs. He insisted that girl her to use these herbs daily one by adding into the food and share it with your mother-in-law. After 6 months, your mother-in-law will go, till dead. She'll be dead. Then you will lead a happy life. Before that, her friend realized, the clinic wala realized her like anything. He understood the problem of this girl, and he understood what her mother-in-law feels also. By this time, his friend, the clinic wala, okay, he one condition, he made a condition. What was the condition he gave to that lady? One condition is you have to treat and serve this, which is nothing but the herb, to your mother-in-law with much care and affection. You should treat your mother-in-law with much care and affection at the time of giving these herbs. She returned back to her home and implemented the same as suggested by the clinic wala. Daily, while doing this with with much care, love, and affection, her mother-in-law also treated her daughter-in-law as her child. Look at this case, my dear friend. Look at this story, my dear friend. Extraordinary story. So daily while doing this, her mother-in-law also fall in love with her daughter-in-law. Days passed on. Daughter-in-law also realized her mistake, and she started, loving her mother-in-law like anything. So what she did, she rushed back to the clinic and informed her friend to give another herb that breaks the poison which her mother-in-law has already taken. Her friend replied, that clinic wala replied, poison was not in my herb, my dear friend, which I gave earlier. Poison was not in my herb which I gave earlier, my dear friend. Poison is in your mind. Now you have realized. So, my dear friends, if you treat people well, you will get a positive response. Empathy. If you treat people well, if you understand others' emotions, definitely you will get a positive response. The next one is the communication, both verbal and non-verbal communication. Silence. So this is an effective communication tool, my dear friend. Silence is an effective communication tool. Statistically, a researcher has proved that 93% of the communication is non-verbal. Excellent interpersonal skill, non-verbal communication. Even at my home also, because my wife, she used to follow the strategy. Silence. Whenever I started shouting like anything, she'll remain silent. Because that conveys a lot of messages to me. What is there in her mind? What she will do? How she will reflect? How I can safeguard myself in the future? That's what runs in my mind. She keeps on, maintaining silence. But she will reflect one fine day. I had a good experience. Definitely, definitely. So, communication, whenever verbal and non-verbal both, whenever you have a setback, you please sit back and listen to your inner man, my dear friends. Whenever you have a setback, you please sit back and listen to your inner man. Let me tell you a story, my dear friends, regarding this communication. An old man, lost his watch when he was farming on the land. An old man lost his watch when he was farming on the land. He was totally disappointed because that watch was his precious gift which he has received from his father. Because that watch was this precious gift which he has received from his father. He searched like anything, but he couldn't find out that watch. He requested some grown-up kids whom he saw them on the farming land playing, and he announced the gift also, a reward for those for those who identify and get my watch back. So grown-up kids was really surprised. They were surprised and started searching, but they couldn't find out the watch. All of them had dissatisfied, including the old boy, man also. Everybody was dissatisfied. Watching this happenings, a little boy who sat on the ground has approached the old man and said that he will find out the watch. Old man was really surprised. One little boy promised that he will find out. As promised, the boy has identified the watch. Old man was shocked like anything. How is it possible, my dear kid, my dear little boy? That's what he replied. Little boy said to the grandpa, Grandpa, it is very, very simple. When I was sat on the ground, I remained silent and heard the tick tick sound of the watch on the ground. And just I have followed the direction where the tick tick falls. That's it. My dear friends, the silence will give you a solution. Silence, extraordinary interpersonal skills. Please remain silent. Don't react, act accordingly. Don't react, act accordingly. Whenever you have a setback, please sit back and listen to your inner man. 1 minute, my dear friends, because I have lost my power connection. Let me connect through my mobile. Just a minute. Just a minute. Tilakamani ma'am, am I audible to you? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you.
Audible,
Since I have lost my power connection because I have connected the session through my mobile. Okay.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
what I'm checking.
Yes, sir. No issues.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So, whenever you have a setback, my dear friends, please sit back and listen to your inner man. As my, silence, extraordinary interpersonal skills, which my wife, she used to follow regularly. Please follow that. So the next one is, helping and giving moral support to others. Helping and giving moral support to others. Are you handsome, my dear friends? My dear friends, if you want to become a handsome fellow, you please try to give your hands to somebody. If you want to become a handsome, please try to give your hands to somebody. The next one is, love. Give respect to others. Extraordinary interpersonal skill. The love, try to give respect to others. So since we are not respecting others, what in return it happens in the friends? I'll let you know. I'll give you a case study.
Ravi sir,
Yes, ma'am.
your screen is not visible, sir, please.
1 minute, ma'am. 1
Can you
minute.
check it?
Just a minute. Madam, I don't have PowerPoint presentation in my mobile. So let me read it what it is there in the PPT.
Okay, fine, sir, fine, sir.
Because I have taken a printout through that. Let me read it, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Fine, sir.
Yeah. So the next one is love, give respect to others, my dear friends. So this is one of the extraordinary interpersonal skills, powerful, concept, emotion. Just please value it, my dear friends. Love. There is no meaning in life without love. Because a lot of cases I have gone through, even that was published in the newspaper also. One man in Japan, he got married a pillow. His name is, Ducky Macaro, I think so. Officially, he married a pillow because he didn't get the support of others, because he was not loved by other fellows. So he married a pillow. You please Google it and search, my dear friends. His name is Ducky Macaro. He married a pillow. One lady, she married the Eiffel Tower. Her name was called as, Mrs. Eiffel. So one more real case was also there. A person, a boy, a man who married a hologram. So that was published in the Hindu newspaper, I think, on August 2018. A Japanese fellow. His name is, I think, Ahiko Kondo. He married a hologram officially because he didn't get the support of others. Now, give respect to others, my dear friends, because that is one of the strongest interpersonal skills you have to implement wherever you are going. Keep smiling, my dear friends. Smile is also one of the strongest interpersonal skill, an extraordinary normal non-verbal communication. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Because we people, because when school teachers, repeat, if he or she repeats and play the same joke again and again, we people are not laughing. For the first time, we used to laugh. If it happens again and again, if he or she plays the same music again and again, we won't laugh. Maybe the jokes in the YouTubes, if we watch continuously again and again, we won't laugh. For the first time, we used to laugh. Second time, third time, no, it drains. If we continuously watching the same joke again and again, we are not laughing. Then why we people are crying for the same problem again and again, my dear friends? Because we people are giving attention for our problems like anything. We are troubling ourselves. Why we people are crying for the same problems again and again? Because that kills your life, my dear friends. Smile. Wherever you go, keep smiling, my dear friends. Because in fact, I do have a lot of problems. Problems. Personal, professional, career development, etc. Problems. But I used to smile. In fact, my family members, my friends, they used to ask me this question: how is it possible, Ravi?
You're always smiling. Yes. That gives me some hope, my dear friends. Because at the age of, 67, Thomas Alva Edison has invented. Definitely, we are going to invent something. We are going to do something in the future, the faculty community. Keep smiling, my dear friends. The next one is building trust. A key to your interpersonal relationship, my dear friends, building trust. Because we people used to doubt others. In fact, you might have noticed our, reporting authorities, our reporting managers, our trust members, our management, whoever it is, they used to doubt us. Even we people also used to doubt others. Try to build trust among others, my dear friends. Doubting others, please get rid out of that. A story. A crab was walking in the seashore. A crab was walking in the seashore. The sea and the crab, both of these fellows are very, very thick friends. The sea and the crab are thick friends. When the crab walking in the seashore, with amazing footprints and beautiful footprints on the crab, of the crab was washed away by the waves of the sea. The beautiful footprints left by the crab on the seashore was washed by the waves of the sea. Crab turned and looked back at the sea and asked, "Hey, why you did this? I thought that you are my best friend, but you have washed everything. My footprints, extraordinary, beautiful footprints, you have lost. You have cleaned everything. I thought you are my best friend." She replied, with patience, with silence, "My dear friend, your footprint was followed by the fisherman and seabirds. I saved your life, my dear friends. Your footprint was followed by fishermen and seabirds. I saved your life, my dear friend." The moral is, many of the times we doubt others. I request you to please look at their intention. So it is not to harm us, but it is to help us. Never doubt others, my dear friends. Try to build trust. So the next, the interpersonal skill is listening. Listening others. And try to focus on the good habit. Listening others. And try to focus on your good habit, their good habits. You please try to listen others and try to focus on their good habits. Focus on positive and deal those negatives. So after having a small example, my dear friends, after having a good meal, when something stuck in our tooth, because normally it gets stuck after having a meal. When something stuck in our tooth, automatically our tongue goes over there. It is quite nature, my dear friends. It is quite nature. So we always keeps on focusing bad things and troubling others, troubling ourselves. Just a minute, I got the power back. Just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute. Let me show the PPT. Okay.
Okay. Madam, is it visible?
Sir? Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Ah, uh, my dear friends, I thought of showing this to you. You know, this particular man, the man who got married hologram, that news was published in the Hindu. Let me show this. Look at this, my dear friends. This is the man who married this hologram. This news was published on, I think 12th of November 2018. Because of love and affection, because he didn't get any love and affection from his family members, from his friends. Okay. So yes, try to listen others and try to focus on good habits, my dear friends. So a lot of good things are happening around us, like anything. As I told you, when something stuck in our tooth, our nature is our tongue goes over there. Lot of good things are beautiful, tooths are there, teeth are there. 31 beautiful teeth are there, which got unstuck. But our tongue won't focus. It focuses only on where the food got stuck. So try to focus on good things and try to listen others. This is an extraordinary, interpersonal skill. This you have to develop within yourself, my dear friends. The next one is self-confidence. The next important interpersonal skill is self-confidence. My dear friends, look at the self-confidence level of the honeybee. You know very well about your self-confidence. You know very well about other self-confidence also. Look at the self-confidence of honeybee. Normally, what we people are doing, we people are stealing. People steal honey from the nest of the honeybee. People steal honey from the nest of the honeybee, but people, cannot steal the technique, the art of making that nest, the art of making that nest, and the art of the technique. We cannot steal it. That much self-confidence the honeybee has. So try to build your self-confidence within yourself and try to build your self-confidence of your friends, family members, your co-workers, etc., etc. Do that, my dear friends. So the next one is conflict management. Superb. Conflict management. What is this conflict management? My dear friends, if you are surrounded by people who frequently disturbs conflict, wherever you go, this conflict plays a vital role in family conflict, wherever you go, in professional life conflict, everywhere conflict are there, conflicts are there. Let me tell you a story, my dear friend. If you are surrounded by people who frequently disturbs you, because I used to take this to my head of the department. Oh, my head, my fellow colleagues are disturbing me like anything. Because when I jumped from non-academic sector to the academic, initially I felt that I was disturbed by the people. That is true, because in the companies, in the non-academic side, when I was in Wipro, because we know our job, because we used to set our objective at the prayer itself, and we work accordingly, and on a monthly basis we used to have a meeting, that's it, or else on a weekly basis we used to sit up for a meet. So in this, teaching, initially I felt that I was disturbed by the people. In fact, I told them also, please don't disturb my dear colleagues, because I am not able to concentrate. In fact, I told everybody I'm not able to concentrate on my work. But it happens. It normally happens. My fellow colleagues are cool fellows, because in fact, because they are supporting me for the past 11 years in this particular college, because they are the tool for my career development, because they are supporting me. Even now also they are supporting me like anything. Ravi, wherever you go, it will be like this only. They are supporting me. That's why I'm here. So, because if you are surrounded by a people who frequently disturbs, I'll tell you a story. One fine day, an employee approached a HR, as like me. I approached my fellow colleagues itself, those who have disturbed me. But that employee approached his HR and submitted his resignation. HR has inquired about the reason. Employee replied that people they are following, they are frequently disturbing me. Lot of politics, negative thoughts, gossiping, because everything is going on within my team. What I can do? Let me quit my HR so that I'm submitting my papers. HR, unfortunately, because unofficially asked that employee to take a glass full of water. He gave a task to that fellow. That HR, he gave a task to that fellow who has submitted the resignation because of disturbances. HR requested the guy to take a glass full of water till the brim, and informed that fellow to walk around the tower 5 times, that the tower, that building, 5 times. The condition is, you should not spill a single drop of water on the floor. That is the condition. 5 times you have to walk around the tower without spilling a single drop of water on the floor. Soon after finishing the task successfully, the employee entered into his HR's cabin with full of water on the glass. HR replied, if you focus on your promise, my dear employee, if you focus on your objective, your promise, then nothing will distract you, my dear employee. That's what the HR told. Try to stay focused on your promise, your objective. Got it, my dear friends? Because conflict, this is what you are supposed to do inside the system. When somebody comes and submit his resignation, submit his problem, because tomorrow or day after tomorrow you may become a principal of the college. By the time, because you are the administrator, you have to look in all the aspects. Some problems may get aroused daily. You have to solve those conflicts. By that time, you have to respond accordingly as said by this HR. Don't react. Act accordingly, my dear friends. Don't react. Act accordingly. So the next one is your body language. the powerful tool of your interpersonal skill. So we people, we used to judge others based on their externals. Am I right? I hope so, my dear friends. We people used to judge others based on their externals. Let me tell you a story regarding this body language. Based on the externals, we used to judge others. One lady approaching her bank, in the queue, she asked the cashier to withdraw just rupees 1,000. One old lady approaching her bank, and she was waited in the queue for a long time. When her turn comes up, she requested the cashier to withdraw. She wants to withdraw 1,000 rupees from her account. Cashier replied, just for 1,000 rupees, we are not ready to waste time. Try to make use of the ATM, madam, which is available outside. Old lady replied that if that has been the case, because I don't know how to withdraw the amount from the ATM. If that has been the case, let me, let me withdraw all my deposit amount. Let me close my account by today itself. If you are not ready to give me 1,000 rupees, let me close my account by today itself. Which has a 5 lakh rupee, for example. So let me close my account by today itself. Cashier replied, madam, that must be amount we are not able to give it to you right now. That much of amount we are not able to give it to you right now, because closing the account today itself, it is highly impossible. So that you please fix an appointment and then come back, my dear old lady, so that let me give you close the account and settle all your accounts. Old lady replied that what is the maximum amount which I can withdraw per day? Cashier replied, 10,000 bucks, ma'am. That is the maximum amount you can able to withdraw per day. Old lady, requested the cashier to, do the proceedings. She has withdrawn rupees 10,000. After taking 10,000, once again, she replied to the cashier, deposit this 9,000 rupees, remaining 9,000 rupees in my account. As of now, I am in need of only 1,000 rupees. Look at this, my dear friend. We judge others based on the externals. We judge the book based on the cover, what it is there in the cover. So try to stop judging others based on the externals. The body language, most powerful tool. The next one is peace. The more we give peace to others, the more we will find peace in ourselves. I hope you know about this, my dear friends. The more we give peace to others, the more we find peace in ourselves. The next, soft interpersonal skill is, the responsibility. Responsibility. You are the head of a company. You are the head of the college. You are the principal of the college, of your college. Your responsibility is to receive and share more with your colleagues. That is one of the strongest interpersonal skill, to have a good bonding with your fellow colleagues. Strongest interpersonal skill. You please receive and share more. Your responsibility is to receive and share more with your fellow colleagues. Let me tell you a story, my dear friends, for this one also. As I told you at the beginning, today's session, I'm going to fill the session with stories only. Please bear with me, my dear friends, please. Your responsibility is to receive and share more. That is the strongest interpersonal skill which you have to equip within yourself. You please do that. Implement the same in your personal life also. Let me tell you that story, my dear friends. There are two different types of lakes in Israel. Lake. There are two different types of lakes in Israel. You know about it. One lake is, the Dead Sea, and I think the other one is Sea of Galilee. The Dead Sea is highly salted content. The Dead Sea carries, highly salt content. There are no living things, no sea animals, no life at all in that Dead Sea. Similarly, there is one more sea called, as I told you, Sea of Galilee. Two different seas, two lakes named as Dead Sea and Sea of Galilee. I think this is in the northern side of the Dead Sea. Northern side of the Dead Sea. This Galilee is filled with good water, with sea animals. There are a lot of living things. A superb, water. Many varieties of fish are there in that Galilee Sea. Yes, definitely the doubt arises because the two lakes, the Dead Sea and the Sea of Galilee, are getting the source, which means the water from the same source, are getting the water, are receiving the water from the same source called River Jordan. Because the River Jordan is supplying, source, water to Dead Sea as well as Galilee. Then how this, the Dead Sea is full of salt content, the Galilee is extraordinary water. How? How is it possible? My dear friends, in Dead Sea, what is happening in the sense? In Galilee, what is happening in the sense, once the water flows from River Jordan, it passes through Galilee and it moves out of Galilee. In and out option, it is there. It receives and shares. So that the lake is very, very healthy. It receives the water from the source, the River Jordan, okay, and it shares to the external. So that lake is healthy. But in Dead Sea, there is no output at all. Here comes the moral, my dear friends. You please try to learn more and share more. Don't be like Dead Sea. Interpersonal skills, receiving everything. If you don't share anything to others, then we will be like, Dead Sea. So this is your responsibility. Your responsibility is to receive and share more, and your responsibility to others is make them to receive and share more. The next interpersonal skill is relationship management. So powerful too, relationship management. So give value for relationship. Give value for relationship. My dear friends, never ever spill your words with anger. So, sorry, don't spill your words when you are in anger state. Never spill your words when you are in anger state, because spoken words cannot be retrieved. So the relationship management. So as a husband, I always find fault. Are we giving value for relationships? As a husband, I always find fault of my wife. As a wife, she always find the fault of her husband. As a kid, the kids always find the fault of the parents. As a student, they always find the fault about their teachers. Fault finding relationships. Don't do that. One more story, my dear friends, regarding this fault finding relationships. The relationship management. You have to build a relationship with your fellow colleagues like anything. Never fault. There should not be any fault finding relationship among the members. A story, my dear friends. There are group of porcupines. You know the porcupines, right? There are group of porcupines, lived in a forest. You know very well that during winter, the temperature drops down to 20 degree in the forest. During winter season, the temperature drops down to 20 degree below. So by the time, porcupines, what they did in the sense, they came closer and discussed about the findings, about finding a new strategy to get survived in this winter season. So while getting closer during that discussion, the group of porcupines felt the warmth. So they got a hope to survive in this winter. We have to come closer so that we will get warmth. But in that, there was a problem, because you know that porcupines have sharp poking quills. You know about that, my dear friends. Porcupines have sharp poking quills. Each and every porcupine carries 30,000 quills in the skin. So while coming closer, other porcupine's quills pokes, that pokes everybody. It pokes, it disturbs. So by the time one porcupine, it cannot tolerate that poking, and that porcupine let himself alone. He thought of leading a privacy life. Finally, he couldn't survive. That porcupine was not able to survive in that winter season. And finally, that porcupine died. The moral is, the warmth of love comes from different dimensions, my dear friends. You must accept it. The warmth, because the love comes from different directions. Sometimes that pokes you. In your family, the love comes from different directions. Sometimes your wife pokes you, your husband pokes you, your parents pokes you. You have to adjust. Then only you can able to relationship will get built like anything. This is what you are supposed to do in the organization, because people, they are coming from different sectors, perspectives. They do have different ideas. Sometimes they may not fall in line with you, because they do have different ideas. So that you must go along with them, treat them, make them understand. This is what the relationship management conveys. Let me take 2 minutes of your time, please, my dear friends, so that you can go for a break. Just 2 minutes. So, as I told you at the beginning, spoken words cannot be retrieved. Wherever you are working, you do please, be very, very careful. Don't spill your words when you are in angry state, anger state. Sorry, my pronunciation may be wrong. You please bear with me, my dear friends. When you are in anger state, don't spill your words. Because we people are very, very good in nature. But sometimes, because of our anger state, we may spill words. A man shouted at his neighbor and thrown bad words on him. After realizing that he has made a mistake, he went to the church and asked for forgiveness. He requested Father to give forgiveness. Father of the church, he replied, take a bucket with full of feathers and please just drop one by one feather all over the city, okay, and approach me after completing the job. That's what said by the father of the church. Man did the same. Man completed the job. Evening, after completing the job, he approached the father of the church. Evening, father has informed the man to go and collect the feathers from the place where you have dropped it. Evening, father has given a task to the same man, go and collect the feathers, okay, from the place where you have dropped it. Is it possible, my dear friends? Is it possible for us to collect the feathers back from the place where he has dropped it? No, it is highly impossible. So, my dear friends, be very, very careful in terms of choosing the words. Choosing the words. Spoken words cannot be retrieved. Don't spill your words when you are in anger state. So the next one is, the positive attitude. So try to build your positive attitude. Change your focus and look for positive. My dear friends, dealing with the people is like digging for a gold. Dealing, with your wife, with your husband, with your family members is like digging for a gold. Lot of dirt will be there.
Ravi sir, just a minute. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing, sir. I just want to pass an information. Sorry for the interruption.
No issues, ma'am.
To the participants, feedback link we have posted in the chat. Since we started the session a delay by 15 minutes, this session will go for another 15 minutes and another 2 minutes for vote of thanks. And today's break is only 10 minutes. 11:30 we will start the second session sharply, and already the resource person for the next session is ready. He said that he will join by 11:15 because some of you have posted a question in the WhatsApp group. There was a delay. In these type of programs, a delay will be there due to some of the issues. It is unavoidable. So because of that, this session is going by now. It is 11:10. It will go for another 5 to 10 minutes. Then we will start the next session with a 10 minutes break of time by 11:30. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry. Let me take another 5 minutes. That's it. Let me take another 5 minutes only.
Continue, sir. No issues. You can continue. You complete.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay. So the next one is the positive attitude. So the positive attitude is like, looking out for a gold. So dealing with people is like, digging for gold. So lot of dirts will come, be there. Try to focus towards the goal. Some people are always fault finding behavior, but they won't succeed in their life. You please stay focused. Positive attitude. Make a habit of doing it now. So some people, procrastinate by using, strong words. Make a habit of doing it by now itself. Don't postpone anything. Positive attitude. So, and the last one is the self-confidence. Very well, self-confidence is one of the most important interpersonal skills. Most important interpersonal skills. Much needed for collaborative skills. Sorry, learning. The self-confidence. So once upon a time, let me tell you a story and then I'll conclude my session. So once upon a time, a businessman has lost his entire money in his business and he was about to commit suicide. Once upon a time, please listen carefully, my dear friends. Once upon a time, a businessman lost his entire money in his business and he was about to commit suicide. So while committing suicide, he met a gentleman, a stranger, a gentleman with blazer. So both of them had a discussion regarding the same, and finally the gentleman said, I will give you a check worth of rupees 1 crore. That blazer wala. You can use this to meet out your loss and enhance your business, my dear friend. That's what said by the blazer wala. The businessman, he agreed. But an agreement was made by the time. The agreement was nothing that, agreement was made. So next year, the Blazerwala said, next year at the same time, the same date, same time, same place, okay, you have to surrender me this 1 crore rupee. The Blazerwala, he gave 1 crore rupee through check. Please keep this in mind, my dear friends. 1 crore rupee through check, not through cash. So soon after they are dispersed, the businessmen kept that 1 crore check in his drawer and worked out for new strategies towards enhancing his business. Finally, he succeeded in the business without a single rupee from that 1 crore check. He didn't encash any amount from that 1 crore from the check. But he had some self-confidence at the back end. Even if he lost in his business also, there is a check which is available in his drawer worth of rupees 1 crore. That's self-confident. So the agreement date has arrived. Both of them met. Businessman has surrendered 1 crore check to that Blazerwala. That uncashed check. Businessman has surrendered that uncashed check worth of rupees 1 crore to that Blazerwala. Blazerwala was surprised. He asked that businessman, how come, man, you did not use my check? How come? While discussion continues, suddenly a nurse came to that place and took that Blazerwala into her custody. While discussion going on, while the discussion continues, suddenly a nurse from the hospital came to that place and took that Blazerwala into her custody. That businessman was surprised. He requested and he raised a question to the nurse, why? Why are you doing this? Nurse replied that the Blazerwala is a psychologically, unfit guy. Last couple of years, he used to give a check to all the strangers, whomever he met. Last couple of years, he used to give a check worth of rupees, whomever he met. The strangers. My dear friend, I hope you got the moral out of the story. What made the businessman to bounce back? The self-confidence. These are all the strongest interpersonal skills which you have to build in within yourself, because that is much needed for collaborative learning. To conclude with, because now we are in a competitive job market, it is important to pay extra attention to what interpersonal skills you are conveying to the potential employers, and how those skills measure up, to the requirements of the position. So, my dear friends, please develop all those interpersonal skills, which you have now. I'm damn sure that you might be having all those interpersonal skills which I have enlisted. Try to enhance all those interpersonal skills. My dear friends, in conflict management, you must be very, very, very careful. Please be very, very careful in conflict management. Whenever you are solving the disputes, you please involve yourself. Whenever you have disputes in between, your colleague, your fellow colleague, and within yourself, you please dispute. You please solve all those disputes within yourselves itself, within you people itself. Never go for the third party to resolve your conflicts, because I have faced a trouble at the beginning, so that I have informed my fellow colleagues, you people are disturbing me again and again, so that they gave a solution. The conflict was settled down on that day itself. Never took forward that message to the head or principal or any other person. Don't invite the third person to resolve the conflict among your fellow colleagues, or else in your family, or with whomever it is. Try to solve the conflict within yourself. Let me show you a video to you, my dear friends. If you invite the third person to solve your conflict, then definitely this happens. Please look at this, my dear friends. After this, we can wind up the session. You can post your feedback. If you have any queries, please drop a mail to me, because we are running short of time. I am extremely sorry. So please drop a mail to me. You can get the mail, my contact from Dr.S. Tilagamani from MKCE. Let me play the video for you, my dear friends. If you invite others to resolve your conflict, then definitely this happens. Madam, please look at this, whether this video is visible to you or not. Please let me know, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
लोण्याचा गोळा वाट्यामध्ये झाला हो त्यांच्या परत सारा घोटाळा दोन बोक्यांनी एक म्हणे नको पुढे येऊ दुसरा म्हणतो हात नको लावू खाण्यासाठी होता हो होता लोण्यावर दोघांचा डोळा दोन बोक्यांनी यात दोन मांजरांचं भांडण माकडानं झाडावरून पाहिलं आणि तो मरून खाली आला आणि म्हणाला माझ्या शेपटीला तू अरे लोण्यासाठी मैत्रीला ताला होता कुलू ऐका माझं नका भांडू राहा थोडं चूप कोकी म्हणती माकड भाऊ शकाल का हे भांडण मिटवू माकड दादा मान हलवणे एक तर राखू येई घेऊन एक लहान तर एक मोठा एक लहान तर एक मोठा लहान मोठे केले त्याने वाटे देऊन लोण्यावर डोळा दोन बोक्यांनी पुढे तर माकडाने आणखीनच मजा केली बाबा दोन बाजूला टाकून लोणी भाकर पाहू लागे तो लोणी एक पारणे खाली जाई हळद त्यातले काढून खाई म्हणती मांजरे तू काय रे लोणी ऐसे काशी बरे माकड म्हणाल दोन सारखे वाटे होण्या असेच करणे योग्य ठरे बर का असेच करणे योग्य ठरे. माकडाने ते खाऊन लोणी, माकडाने ते खाऊन लोणी, माकडाने खाऊन सारे लोणी. तोंडन पोबार केला दोन बोक्यांनी. मज्जा झाली मकडाची, पुढे पतीची बोक्यांची. दोघांमध्ये भांडण होता, होते संगळ तिसऱ्याची. त्या बोक्यांना आपल्या भांडणाचा असा धडा मिळाला. दोन बोक्यांनी काढला हो काढला, चोरून लोण्याचा गोळा दोन बोक्यांनी.
Okay. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I hope you delivered 2 sessions and it went on very well. And thanks for the contribution and thanks for accepting our invitation and spent your valuable time with us. Thank you one and all, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your feedback, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Thank
day,
you,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Let me go offline. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.